Hey, it's me. How are you? Today has been a little bit interesting. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it before I jump into our content today for the Fall Writing Challenge. Hold on, let me get rid of this back glare. There we go. You can see my messy desk. So it's me, Kathy Mazak. Today is day 2 of the Fall Writing Challenge. And I was supposed to go live about an hour and 20 minutes ago, but about an hour and 45 minutes ago, I was driving into campus to just take my nice parking spot and start my live video, and someone swerved to hit a student and hit me instead. Everybody's fine. The student got freaked out, but wasn't just by the sound of the cars hitting, and kind of jumped over a fence, but he was fine. And the person who hit me is fine, and I'm fine, and the bumper is falling off, and that stinks. And I actually am a person, like, my father would not like to hear this, so Dad, if you're watching, I'm sorry. But I'm a person who doesn't care that much about how the car looks. But it does have to function. So the bumper's kind of rubbing against the tire, but the guy who hit me got a wire out of his car and kind of wired it up. So it's at least not hitting anymore. So that was a weird thing that happened today. So yay for everybody being fine. I am definitely the kind of person who looks at the positive side of things. And that's my segue into today's topic, which is creating positive relationships between you and your writing. So the big idea of the Fall Writing Challenge is to implement some small, what may seem to be small, but are very important behaviors that are going to change the way you write so that you can write and publish more. Okay, so that's what this challenge is about, and what I'm challenging you to do is to it'll probably take between 15 and 30 minutes a day to think about, as you watch these videos, think about the topic and implement a little action step that I give you in an email. So that is how the challenge works. It's quite simple. You don't have to do it at the same time that I'm going live. You can watch these videos later, which I'm sure many of you are. Please do say hello if you are, if you're with me. I can see that some of you are on, so tell me, I'm gonna check on my other computer so that I can see what's going on. Tell me where you're joining from and how you're doing today. Another thing that I promised I would announce, and I know there are people waiting to hear about the results of the Back to School Writing Challenge. So, the Back to School giveaway. Hi, Amy in Iowa. So the Back to School giveaway was a kind of kit of things I put together, including a lot of Post-it notes and cool stuff that you might use to plan out your publication pipeline and things like that. And it included my course, which is the Academic Women's Writing Roadmap. And so you get a free seat in my course, plus a bunch of other goodies. And about 500 people entered, which was really fun. The giveaway was open for about 10 days and closed on Sunday, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and announce the winner. I have to find her name. Her name is Laura Smith, and she is a psychology professor in the UK. So I'll be sending her a shipment of goodies, and she'll get a seat in the Academic Women's Writing Roadmap, which is going to be starting up next week. So I'm very excited about that. She is a professor just coming back from maternity leave, so the Academic Women's Writing Roadmap is perfect for her. So I'm so excited, Laura Smith, that you won. So yay! Hi, Vanessa in Nevada. Nice to see you. All right, so let's jump into today's content. So yesterday we talked about setting goals and making your goals the right size. Okay, so you need to have a big goal about publications you want to get done, or kind of project level goals. Then you also want to have tasks and smaller goals. And that video is still up, so you can scroll back and see that one. Today we're going to talk about creating positive feedback loops between you and your writing. And what I mean by that is that I want you to tell me in the comments if this is how you feel when you think about your writing projects. So if you feel like, oh my gosh, I can't even think about that right now. Okay, so if when you have a thought about a writing project come to your head, if you I say that you kind of smush it down, then that means that you're having negative feedback loops between you and your writing. If every time you sit down to do something, you kind of open the document and stare at it and then feel like you never get anything done. So if you're telling yourself, I never get my writing done, then that is also negativity between you and your writing. And I'm really not trying to be like woo or like, anything like that. Like very practically, I want you to think about when you think about your writing, how does it make you feel? Because here's what I want for you. I want you to feel excited. Like I want you to feel like I can't wait, or oh, it's gonna be difficult, but it's a challenge, or something like that. Like I want you to feel positive feelings. Okay, so Amy says, I feel that way, especially this week, a lot of extra noise from other things this week. Yes, I want you, Amy, just to think about too, this is like a slightly off topic, but not too far off. I think that you have to kind of develop a mentality about your writing that jives with the way the rest of your semester is going. So I say that like a semester ebbs and flows. Okay, so there's, more or less when the ebb and flow times are, and you really need to just adjust your expectations and be gentle about yourself. Okay, so that's not giving you an excuse to not do your writing, but rather an excuse to say, or a reason to say like, okay, this week might not be my best week, but next week I'm gonna hit the ground running, or however you wanna kind of frame that for yourself. For example, today was gonna okay, so if you follow me if you're in my I Should Be Writing Facebook group, you might have seen that my husband and I were in Italy for 10 days. He was presenting at a conference and I joined along. We had a fabulous time. We didn't take the kids. It was like a second honeymoon. It was wonderful. He also had a great professional experience and got to present at this international conference about climate change. And it was very, very enriching and wonderful experience. We flew back on Monday and the flight was, 9 hours. Well, 3 hours from Rome to Madrid, and then Madrid to San Juan was 9 hours. So it was like ridiculous, right? And then of course we came back, and yesterday what we did was pick up the dogs from the dog sitters, pick up the kids from grandma's house, put the kids where they're supposed to go, like all of those things. So like before I took my trip, I had canceled my classes on Tuesday. Like I knew that I wasn't going to be able to come back and hit the ground running. And this little car accident today was like further evidence from the universe that I'm not hitting the ground running. I'm just coming back and I'm easing in. So, so yes, Amy says, good point. As you said in another video, you can't be perfect at everything all the time. You can be, that's right. You have to be very good at some things, and that's good enough. So today I was hoping that before I came on live, well, I would come live and I would give my little talk today, and then I would sit down and organize my calendar. But I have now lost the organizing calendar window. But that's okay, it's all fine. And this evening before I go home, I will be organizing my calendar. Anyway, so again, that strategy, the kind of give yourself a break idea, is part of this creating these positive feedback loops. So setting yourself up for success with your goals and tasks is one part of creating positivity. Another part is realizing that other things are always happening in your semester. And I'm just telling you like what works for me and how I teach people about writing is not about write at all costs or do this number of words every day or else you're failing. I think that has the potential to go awry, especially for parents, because there's so much about parenting that we cannot control, right? If you've learned anything of being a parent, it's that it's not really about you and you're not in control of what happens. So at any moment I could get a phone call and have to go run and pick up a kid, right? So it's like there are things that you just have to kind of let go of. not let go of them forever, but that be gentle on yourself and be aware of how your writing practice fits in with all the other things that you're doing. Be aware of the ebb and flow. And this is something actually that I talk about a lot in the Academic Women's Writing Roadmap, and teach you strategies for creating a writing program for yourself, or a writing system for yourself that takes into account those ebbs and flows of the semester and the way the semester changes over time. Because truthfully, you know, more or less the weeks of the semester when it starts to like get too hectic. Anyway, so those are two things already: the goal setting of the right size, and the being aware of ebbs and flows and planning accordingly and giving yourself a little bit of a break. And the third thing I want to talk about today in terms of setting yourself up for success and creating positive feelings around your writing is rewards, okay? So this is something that is super important, that you have some kind of reward system set up for yourself. And again, I want to go back to that concept of big goals and small goals. So I want you to have rewards for when you hit big goals that are big. And also I want you to have rewards that are smaller size for when you hit your smaller goals. So again, we're all just trying to create positivity. So creating rewards can be super, super simple. For example, like when you hit your writing goals, you could, for the day, you know, maybe you play your favorite song before you leave and do a little dance party in your office, you know, or just something that's going to make you smile, right? Maybe it's just a matter of like, okay, when you're doing good with your writing, you sit and you have your favorite cup of tea. What, you know, like some kind of small, nice thing that you can do for yourself that's like, hey, self, good job. And then for your bigger goals, I want you to think of bigger things. Like if you submit a book project or a grant or an article for a publication in a journal, I want you to like take yourself out to dinner. You know, I want you to do something big for yourself. And if budget is you know, I think you can budget those kind of things in, right? But if you want to create something free, like do like a Netflix movie night with the kids and tell your kids like, Mommy did a great thing today. Here's what I did, and I'm really proud of myself. I mean, what kind of message would that send to your kids, right? About what Mommy does at work and why, you know, writing is important and meeting your goals is important. It's including them in your reward if you are a parent. So just some things to think about. But those are three kind of ideas: the correct goal setting, adjusting to the ebb and flow of the semester. Thank you, Amy, for reminding me about that, because I wasn't planning on talking about that today, but that's so important. And also creating rewards for yourself so that when you have interactions with your writing, they are positive. Okay, today I was listening to a podcast, and there's a book out. The book is called Finish, and I'm sorry that I can't find the name of the author right now. I don't have it on the tip of my brain, but basically it's about how you finish writing, or how you finish projects, or how you finish things that you start, how to finish things that you start. And one of the things that he said was that that there's research that says that the things that that go unfinished, you remember them more, and they have kind of more mental load going on than the things that you have finished. And that really resonated with me, because I think it totally applies to writing. So if you have unfinished writing projects, they're the ones that kind of bubble up to the top, and then you might have, if you don't have these things in place, you might have negative reactions to thinking about those projects because they're unfinished and they're like weighing over you. Whereas we don't ever sit down and just think about all the things we have written, or the articles that are published, or things that are complete. Like, they're not taking up our mental space. So again, I want you to think about creating rewards for yourself so that you will create memories around finishing projects, which I think is really, really important. So To sum up, I just want to remind you all that barring car accidents, I will be live tomorrow at noon. It's kind of freaky. Okay, I'll be live tomorrow at noon. And I do want you to go ahead and sign up for the challenge if you're watching but haven't signed up for the challenge. And the reason to sign up is because there are handouts coming up. So on Friday, our training will be a little bit longer, and there'll be a handout and have a special announcement to make. So that's one not to miss. But when you sign up at the link that's in the description of this video, you'll get little reminder emails, and you'll also get the handouts for Friday's workshop, which is also going to be at noon. So thank you everybody for joining me today, and for your patience, and for getting extra emails about how I couldn't make it at noon. But now you know why. Freak things happen, but everybody's okay, so yay! All right, so I'll be sending an email a little bit later with some more instructions on how to create rewards, and that's your task, is to set up some rewards for yourself. Once you've done that, I want you to come back here to this video, and I want you to tell me what rewards you have put in place for yourself for when you meet your next writing goals. So have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.